wilderness trail journey, and I just wanted to share with you how we get started with our seedlings up here in the mountains outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico. We have a few methods to share with you, like some sustainable options like using recycled products, as well as starting a mini greenhouse right in your own house using a south-facing window. We do have some things that will cost a little bit up front, like our grow mats right here, but I promise you they'll pay off in spades as they help your germination rate. And if you live in a zone like we do where the growing season's really short, it'll pay you off in no time. So take a look and let me know what you think. So we use the Farmer's Almanac to set up our garden, and they offer a 7-day free trial. So if you don't like the system or how the tools work, you don't have to commit to anything. It's super affordable, just a yearly charge, and I think it's less than 30 bucks a year, so it's really good. But you're allowed to put in your space, which here we are going to be gardening just our first year in almost a square, which is like 35 by 35. It doesn't look like it, but it's kind of cut off. I went ahead and took a screenshot and put it into Word, because what I don't like about the system is their printable PDF of your garden space. So just a little hint there for when you're wanting a printout of what your garden space is going to be, try that method. But it is really great for allowing you to set up using exact measurements what your raised beds or rows are going to look like. And then within that option, it has all kinds of vegetables that you can add into those raised beds. And I like to use a square foot gardening method. So I switch over to that option to put it in, and it tells me how many vegetables of a certain kind I can grow. So if you take a look here, it's 1 tomato per square foot, which I still don't like to do that because I think that's pretty compact. But when you add up all of these seeds and take a look there, we're doing the Three Sisters method right there. It gives you a total on the seed count, which is incredibly important for the next step of planning out your garden. So after you've planned out exactly what you're going to grow and where, the next thing you want to do is start your seedlings. And you need to know which of those seedlings start indoors, outdoors, both, and what those counts are. And this system will spit it out for you. Guys, this will save you so much work. It's unbelievable. So this is our garden for 2019. We need, for example, we're going to start with basil because it puts it in alphabetical order. And we need 24 plants. It also tells me, because again, I use that square foot gardening method, that I'm going to plant 4 per square foot. And then it can also tell me when to sow indoors, outdoors, and the harvest date, all in one PDF. You can print this out, which will take us to our next step. After you've printed off the seedling list, you're going to highlight all the ones that need to be started indoors, and then take those highlighted plants and put them into an Excel sheet. The first column will be the variety of plant. The next column is number of plants. And at the bottom, you're going to want to total those up and see it says cells needed is 211, so that I know how many seed trays to get started so that I have the right number to plant all my seeds in. Okay, so another trick that I wanted to show you guys is a way to mark your seed trays. And I figured this out last year totally by accident. I was actually out of, I think, tape. So I used this medical grade tape here, and I put it on the edge of my seed tray, and then I used a fine felt tip pen to mark down what was going in the seed trays. And this is what it looks like when they're done, so that they're marked. And I just pulled off last year's, and they were still clear as day. So I definitely think that's a win, and I like to pass these on to you guys. All right, so this is how we start our seeds, and these are little self-contained greenhouses that I got at Tractor Supply. They're made by Burpee. This is the second year I'll be using them, and they are fantastic. Such an easy way to start your seeds. It has a water reservoir on the bottom. These little plastic things go on top that hold your seed trays, and then it has this wonderful mat that wicks up water to your plants so they're not sitting in moisture, which is good because you don't want to have root rot. And then you're able to water your plants from the bottom, which is incredibly important because that helps prevent fungus and fungus gnats, which can be detrimental to starting your seedlings. So after you get the seed mat in place, you grab your seed tray, put it into place, and then you can put the plastic on top. I do recommend that you have some type of temperature gauge, because it can get super hot in those little greenhouses. So a lot of the time I will keep the system open during the daytime and then put the plastic on top at night. Effective way to start your seeds. This is a 12 pack that we used last year and we saved it. You can also probably pick these up from your nursery if they have any extras laying around your local nursery. And then these are aluminum pans. You can get these $1 a piece at the dollar store. They last forever. I've used and abused these. Chef Hubby actually uses these for catering and I snag them from him because we want to be sustainable. I like to reuse stuff. We usually start quite a few seeds. And this is a great way to do it without spending very much money. That right there is $1 and you can start, 24 seeds in just that one tray. What's also great about it is that not only is it a place to set your seeds, but this aluminum pan also acts as a reservoir. So you water your plant from the bottom, not from the top. Again, this helps prevent fungus and fungus gnats and provides a more constant source of water for your plants. Okay, so now that the seed trays are ready to go, we need to get the soil in them. So this is a seedling mix. This is a Sungro Horticulture product called Black Gold. I love, love, love this product. It is absolutely fantastic. I've used the potting mix before. Last year I used this and mixed up my own seedling mix. So when I came across this this year, I was super excited to try it, and I don't think I'm going to be disappointed. So I want to show you guys the difference. So here's potting soil, and it takes a little bit of work for the wooden spoon to get down in there. It's a lot more coarse. There's some bigger pieces in here. And then if I show you the seedling mix, the spoon just goes straight down to the bottom, no problem, which will be excellent for promoting root growth. It's super soft, and the amount of water that this holds without being wet is just phenomenal. I can't wait to see how my seedlings start in it. A couple more tips and tricks. I like to make sure that the dirt is moistened before I put it in the seed tray. Dirt can be a little bit hydrophobic, and when you put it on top of the seed tray, it'll sit there instead of soaking all the way through. So I do it beforehand. Another trick is to put the dirt in your tray and then use 2 fingers to gently push down the dirt to make sure that you have a full seed tray of dirt. You don't want to get back to where you're putting in your seeds and then notice that you only filled it halfway, which, let me tell you, it can happen. The last little trick I have for you is to make sure that you have a little bit of excess dirt on hand in case you need to fill the top of the seeds. But in most cases, the seeds are so tiny, it's just easy to put a little bit of dirt that's already in your seed tray over your seed. That way it's already nice and moist and it cuts the time in half. After planting your seeds, you want to set your seed trays in a warm area. That can be as easy as putting them on top of your fridge until the seeds have germinated, or putting them outside in a temperature-controlled greenhouse, or doing the method that we use, which is using a baker's rack we got off of Amazon, and using dollar store clear shower curtains to hold in warmth, and setting the trays on top of a grow mat. And these grow mats are vinyl. They keep moisture out. They heat up to a temperature which is regulated by this receiver right here. It plugs in to a thermometer, which these thermometers are a little bit extra. It turns on and off. And as you can tell right now, it says the soil temperature is 71 degrees. We have it set to 70, but it is in the afternoon and it's becoming spring. So these south-facing windows do a great job of keeping your plants warm. And also, because we have the shower curtain, we do need to be careful not during the day on warm days to keep it closed. So you do want to check your system about once a day. Lastly, what I wanted to tell you about, I mentioned before that the plants needed to be watered from the bottom up. This is my second year using those Burpee seed trays, and what I have seen is they don't lay as flat as they used to before. So I can even see right here, there's a cell. You can tell that lighter soil right there. It's a different color, it's drier, it's gonna have a harder time germinating the seed because it's going to dry out, and it's going to have a really hard time maintaining the seedling. So I probably am going to have to come back consistently and water over the top, which I don't like to do. And that doesn't tend to happen on these thicker seed trays right here, which I just started some spinach in. And what I love about that is that this is a recycled product. So the sustainable method actually gets an A+ in being reused time and again. So definitely check with your nursery, or when you go purchase your seedlings, keep these seed trays. It will pay off dividends.